Hey everybody, this is David Good. I want to thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how I created the painting called Bayou Dreams. This is a 30 by 48 inch painting. It's a 3-color acrylic drip painting. I used black, burnt umber, and cerulean blue, and then a water bottle to create these neat effects. So let's see how I did it. We begin by squirting down the canvas. I get it wet, and it makes it easier to spread the paint through. Here I'm applying the burnt umber, and I'm just doing some random patterns, kind of getting a landscape feel for this. Leaving it dark in some places and not so dark in others. Using water to thin it out as I go along. I'm using large mural brushes. These are size 50 synthetic brushes. It really allows for smooth paint application and not quite so many hairs left in the paint as you go along, as natural bristles will do. And now I'll begin adding the cerulean blue. This is kind of the awkward time of the whole painting because it really doesn't look like much. It looks rather fake, rather, I don't know, shall we say primitive? That's okay. It all has to start someplace. And I got this film sped up. We're like doing 4 times my natural speed just because, you know, the technique isn't so hard to follow, like in some of my other videos where I've left it almost live, you know, regular time. And I love that back and forth. I just like blending the paint, and you know, this thing is almost too big to do it in one brush stroke, so it kind of makes me look funny when I actually do it. Add a little more of the brown. And I like how it mixes with the blue and creates kind of a greenish color. I'm just sort of blending everything in here. And here we go with the first squirts. Right at the top of the canvas. Just do a few squirts and see what happens. A few more here and there. And squirt the bottom. This kind of made a neat effect. It didn't so much drip the paint that I had down there, rather, if you see it, the drips that came down to where that water is, if you want to call it that, then feathered out. It was really cool. It's one of those, another Bob Rossism, another happy accident. It's pretty cool when things happen. So what I'm doing now is I'm going back up to the top and I'm adding another layer of paint. Adding the blue, going to add some brown again, and then once that's there, I drip that a bit. That way it covers over some of that white area that I created. Then add another layer. You work in layers. You always work in layers. That way you can do a little bit at one time, a little bit at another, and keep adding to it. And more layers. Now I'm starting to add some black. Get kind of a partial vignette going on up there, just to darken up the top. And it's a mixture of the black and the brown, and some of the blue will get mixed in there too. And like smoothing it out as I go along, blending it. It's not necessary, but if it's what you want to do, go for it. And here I'm just trying to add some depth, you know, to get some variations going instead of a straight line across, you know, get some things hanging down, something weird like that. some blue up there into the black. That'll make a really interesting drip. And we squirt. Then guess what? You go back, put another layer up there. I'm getting darker as I go. This time it's more black than brown and not quite as much blue. Just trying to get it to get darker as it goes to the top. I didn't want to drip so much here, so now plus the wetter the canvas gets at the top, you're just going to end up washing all the paint away and having nothing but white canvas up there again. So you want to be careful not to overdo your sprays. And keep adding paint back. And I'm just going for a variation of shades of color. I don't really have an image in my head as far as what is this thing that I'm painting. Suppose I probably should, but I'm in the moment and I'm just kind of painting what feels right. And here I'm doing a little more squirting. And you notice how where I squirt it turns almost white instantly. That means the canvas is too wet for what I want to do here. So I'm going to continue painting another layer of the vignette on there. And I'm going to refrain from using the squirt bottle for a while. And to blend this, I'm going to use my 2-inch diameter artist sponge. I have a bucket of water below me. I rinse it out and wring it out pretty good. And I just tap along the edges of the black and can transfer paint down and over and all sorts of things. I'll help create some of the side vignettes with this. And I'll use that instead of the squirt bottle for now. Just trying to vary the line up there at the top. Not make it so straight across. You have something dangle down and meet with the other elements of the painting. Right now I'm just working on making it look cool. Step back, take a look every once in a while. Get the glare off the wet paint. That's why I'm leaning the way I am, because my lights are right above me. And so I get a lot of glare. So I have to contort into some pretty interesting shapes in order to see what I'm doing here. what do you know? I did one more bit of squirt. Not a lot though, being very selective. A little touch up. Take one last look. Another weird abstract. But I like it. I hope you've enjoyed this. And I encourage you to give it a try. It's really simple. Create some beautiful effects. Use nice complementary colors and enjoy yourself.